Lisbon, elegant capital city of Portugal. The city they call, with some justification, the gateway to Europe. From here, like the Portuguese navigators of old, you can discover the old world and the new. For Portugal is an old European country, and the reminders of the past are all about you. The mingling of traditional and modern, the mixture of jet age, luxury and unspoilt history, give Portugal a flavor that is delightful and unique. The flower sellers add their colorful touch to Lisbon's enchantment. There's romance in the air, too. Lisbon's lovely gardens and parks are a secluded haven for lovers and visitors alike. Bounded on the north and east by Spain and the south and west by the Atlantic, the sea has always played a vital part in Portuguese life. The Portuguese navigators, led by Prince Henry himself, set out to conquer the world. A statue records their discoveries, but their names, Columbus, Vasco da Gama's discoverers, more often than not, fly in by the plane load to sample Portugal's contrasts. Touchdown, Lisbon, the perfect place to soak up those first impressions. The wide boulevards are very much part of big city life, but visitors can soon discover the gentler pleasures of Portugal's capital. But there's plenty of action here too. A bullfight, Portuguese style, has color, high excitement, and comedy. It's against the law to kill the bull. But here there are all the elements of the classic bullfight, except that at the moment of truth, the sword is never used. At night, the bullfight's over, the excitement remains. Lisbon lights up and establishes her own special reputation as a swinging city. Yet even the nightclubs are not all geared to the discotheque set. Those Portuguese traditions aren't rammed down your throat. They're here because the past still plays an important part in the present. Lisbon sets the scene. But to really appreciate the country, you've got to move out of the city and discover the variety that the whole of Portugal offers. The old towns of the north, the plush holiday resorts of the south. Coimbra, once the capital of Portugal, is the home of the second oldest university in the world, founded in 1290. Picturesque it certainly is, but don't think this is an impression they deliberately retain for the tourist. Life goes on as it has always done. Coimbra is still a famed university town, rich with historical associations. The earliest Portuguese kings lie buried here, and a Roman city has been discovered nearby. Those past influences can be found in miniature too. A model village with every type of building in Portugal gives you a scaled-down architectural tour that takes you back to the days of the Moorish invasion and beyond. The influence of the sea is everywhere. Fish is part of the staple diet, and it's a great delicacy. Nazaré is one of the unchanging fishing villages that dot this Atlantic coastline. Today, as always, life follows the rolling tempo of the sea. The Scottish-type plaid clothes worn by the villagers are another throwback to Portugal's past, said to have originated with Wellington's troops, who stopped here during the Napoleonic Wars. The labours of the sea occupy Nazaret's unchanging life. Little has altered since the Phoenicians founded the village centuries ago. Even the small fishing boats still bear the Phoenician prow. All along the rugged coastline, fishing is a way of life. Phoenicia was once a strong fortified city. Now it is one of Portugal's most important fishing centres, where the rich haul of the Atlantic comes ashore for export to the world. Every day, swarms of boats bring back their catch for auction. The Portuguese excel at cooking their fish too. Red bream and red mullet are among the specialities. But Portugal is primarily an agricultural country, and pastoral scenes like this are no rarity. The country regions offer their own inimitable throwbacks to the old world. Here again, life seems almost untouched by the mechanics of trade. The making of flour goes on in the same timeless way. There's history in every languorous turn of the old mill sails at Phoenicia. Yet this is a scene that seems far from out of place or out of touch in this unspoiled country. There's ancient historical associations at the old walled city of Obidos too, with its medieval fortress and winding cobbled streets. Obidos still retains traces of the Moorish invasion and is one of the most perfect examples of a walled town of the Middle Ages. Souvenirs, of course, play their part, but so too does traditional craftsmanship. Porto is the second largest city in Portugal and also the country's commercial and industrial centre. Here too traditions die hard. This is the local launderette. Porto means the port, and the city is world famous as the home of port, the king of wines. Wine is Portugal's principal product, and Porto stands on the Douro River in the heart of wine country. Since the 18th century, British vintners living in Oporto have played a major role in the production of the wine. Millions of gallons of port are shipped across the world every year, and every shipment undergoes the rigid scrutiny of government experts and professional tasters. Tasters never swallow the wine. The color is checked, the bouquet inhaled, and the wine is sampled with the tongue and the roof of the mouth. Port owes its distinctive flavor to the selection and precise blending of the Douro wines, fortified by brandy. These dust-gathered vintages of bygone years can be truly classified among Portugal's treasures. Today, automation ensures that the wine is produced under the most modern and hygienic conditions. But making the barrels is a craft that continues to thrive, and the coopers carry on their trade with traditional skills. Despite a high degree of industrialization, Oporto's commercial life still largely depends on the city's namesake wine. After being pressed and casked, the wine will be blended, aged, then shipped across the world to discerning connoisseurs everywhere. Today, the old boats that once carried the port along the Douro River are little more than showpieces, a reminder that port has been a famed product for centuries. The sea has played its part in exploration, in fishing, and now in weaning holidaymakers to Portugal's shores. For Portugal has plenty to satisfy the present, Estoril is one of the ritzier resorts, the gem of the Côte Soleil, only 15 miles from Lisbon. It's the in thing these days to give the Mediterranean the miss and live it up in the 5-star grandeur and temperate climate of Estoril. The casino is a fine building with a rapid turnover. Big stakes, little stakes, all are welcome. It all adds to the holiday fun. This is Portugal's playground, a lush expanse of luxury hotels and fine beaches that cater for everyone, from the millionaire to the package tour. Faro, Portugal's southernmost city, is the capital of the Algarve province. The Algarve means the west in Arabic. It was the Moors' last stronghold and might belong to northwest Africa rather than Europe. Here there are cliff-rimmed beaches, Moorish villages, and plenty of sunshine to call holidaymakers to the province the whole year round. The Moorish influence is still pronounced. This maritime province stretches along 100 miles of southern Portugal and has a character and charm all its own, as the holidaymakers have been quick to discover. For the athletic, there's sailing and water skiing. The less energetic are happy to watch. Or there's golf at the new course in the Vale de Lobo, for those who want another way of relaxing along the Algarve's coastline. Food, of course, plays a big part. Sampling Portugal's seafood is a luxury that no gourmet can afford to miss. Once a mountain range cut off the Algarve from Portugal and from the rest of Europe. Now it's accessible. But here, as in the rest of the country, the past prevails, not as an intruder or a tourist attraction, but as an integral part of Portugal today.